Dr. Harrison's grievance with Bay City General is quite simple. She was brought here as a candidate in the mentor program started by Dr. Frame. And then, although her test scores and performance evaluations were essentially the same as Dr. Beckett's, he was the intern chosen for the position. Now, Dr. Harrison believes the reason this occurred is not only because of a long and proven record of sexual discrimination here at Bay City General.
My department does not discriminate in hiring.
We're not attacking you, Miss Pillsbury, nor will we be filing a grievance against your department.
Well, then I suggest you stick to the facts of your allegations, Mr. Anderson, and leave the speculation aside.
The fact is, Dr. Frame made personal and sexual advances to Dr. Harrison, which ultimately led to her losing the position to a doctor who, if not less qualified, was certainly no more qualified than she.
I assume you have something to support this?
Yes, I do. I'd like to call Dr. John Hudson. Essentially, Dr. Harrison was as qualified as Dr. Beckett.
Dr. Hudson was not in charge of that program. He's not qualified to answer that.
He may give his opinion, Mr. Winthrop, and might I remind you there is no need to interrupt. You will be given ample time to reply. Dr. Hudson.
Dr. Harrison seemed to be as qualified as Dr. Beckett, but I didn't work as closely with them as Dr. Frame.
But you observed them.
Yes.
How did you think that he treated these interns?
Fairly. Equally.
In all respects?
I'm not sure I know what you mean.
Well, let me make it simple for you. Did Dr. Frame have any outside contact with any of the other interns?
I saw him at Sassy, having a beer a few times with one or another of them.
Oh, minimally social, then?
Yes.
Was this also true of Dr. Harrison?
I saw her occasionally at these gatherings.
I'm
yes.
asking if Dr. Frame's relationship with her was of a different nature than that of the other interns.
Yes.
So it would be fair to say that they were dating?
Yes.
And in your opinion, Doctor, was this a responsible action taken by Dr. Frame?
I'd say that it was an ill-advised choice.
Would you ever do it?
No.
So, Dr. Frame made an irresponsible and potentially damaging decision when he decided to have a relationship with Dr. Kelsey Harris.
I am compelled to object.
Sit down, Mr. Winthrop. This is not a trial, and I'll have no histrionics.
Whatever Dr. Hudson would or would not do with his personal life is not relevant in the least. We are not here to compare physicians' lifestyles.
Dating your employee and then passing her over for a promotion is much more than a lifestyle choice, Mr. Winthrop.
That has not been determined yet, Mr. Anderson.
It will be.
Gentlemen, I will not warn you again. Mr. Winthrop, please take your seat.
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Anderson, have you finished with Dr. Hudson?
No. Now, doctors can make ethical decisions every day. Now, isn't that true?
Yes.
And when you saw this relationship developing between Dr. Harrison and Dr. Frame, did you believe that there were ethical considerations involved?
Yes. Look, Dr. Frame is a friend of mine. He's a fine surgeon.
That wasn't the question. Now, did you at any time during the tenure of the program personally hear or see Dr. Frame make any references to Dr. Harrison's future?
Do you understand the question, Dr. Hudson?
Yes. Quite a while ago, I overheard a conversation wherein Dr. Frame promised Dr. Harrison that he would help her succeed.
Thank you.
But I'm sure that he said something to that effect to all the interns.
But you don't know that, do you?
This isn't what it sounds like, Cass.
I sure hope not.
And what happened within a few days after you overheard this conversation? Were there any new appointments made within the program?
The assistantship in hematology was announced.
And who was chosen?
Dr. Harrison.
And what was the feeling among the staff about this appointment?
There are always differing views.
Well, I'm sure there are, but in this instance, did Dr. Frame find that he had to defend his choice?
Yes. One of the senior staff members, Dr. O'Neill, felt that Dr. Harrison was a poor choice.
And was he forced to justify his actions?
He didn't have to. Dr. Harrison deserved the post.
But would you say that Dr. Frame found himself in a difficult position, one perhaps that he might not want to experience again?
I have no idea.
All right, Dr. Hudson, just one last question. In your opinion, and in light of the competition from Dr. Harrison, would you say that the choice of Dr. Beckett was a good one? Would Bay City General have been better served by the appointment of Kelsey Harrison?
No. Dr. Beckett is highly qualified for the post. I think that Dr. Frame made an excellent choice, one I might have made myself.
Okay, we got out of that one all right, and we still have our ace in the hole.